Mufasa, The Lion King is the brand new movie that just hit theaters. This is the prequel to the 2019 Lion King, which was directed by Jon Favreau. This time around, Mufasa is being directed by Barry Jenkins, the director behind If Beale Street Can Talk and Moonlight. Also, Jeff Nathanson returns as the lead screenplay writer after readapting for the 2019 Lion King movie. This is the origin story of the King Mufasa, who in this film is played by Aaron Pierre, who takes over for, obviously, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. And we learn about Mufasa's origin story for someone who's lost from his original tribe and finds a new tribe, which includes his new adopted brother, Taka, who's voiced by Kelvin Harrison Jr., who later become Scar. They go on the journey looking for the promised land of fables. Along the journey, they're also joined by young Sarabi, who's in this film voiced by Tiffany Boone, as well as young Rafiki, played by Kagiso, Ladiga, and Zazu's played by Preston Neiman. Also, have a present day device as Simba is on his own journey in the movie, so we get this story told through present-day Rafiki, who once again is voiced by John Connie. You also have Pumbaa and Timon back, played by Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner. And you also have Kiara, the daughter of Simba, who's played by Blue Ivy Carter. The film is 2 hours long and is PG. Sorry about that, guys. My name is Max Sinberg. Welcome back to Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie and TV show reviews. I also do out-of-theater reactions, box office breakdown shows, and movie franchise rankings. Like any one of those things, subscribe, ring the bell. Also, please comment down below. What are your thoughts on Mufasa, The Lion King? Was this a worthy prequel? Do you want to see more films like this in this franchise, or should Disney stop with The Lion King and just let everyone enjoy the original animated classic? If you've not seen it, tell me, are you not going to see it because you did not like the 2019 version? Or are you waiting for actual Christmas Day to go check out Mufasa, The Lion King? And also, please hit that thumbs up button, guys, down with a like button that helps recommend my videos to new viewers. So I was not at all excited for the movie. Obviously, I grew up watching the original animated Lion King. It is an all-time classic for Disney. It's not one that I particularly go back and watch every year, but it is a movie that when I watch it, understand it, the greatness of the original Lion King. And I did not like, to be nice, the 2019 version of Lion King, which is just a soulless reimagination, really shot-for-shot remake of the same movie. And when they said they were doing another one, Barry Jenkins is the director, who gets a lot of praise. I'm not the biggest Barry Jenkins fan, but obviously I was a huge Jon Favreau fan. He let me down with that 2019 Lion King. So maybe Barry Jenkins could turn things around. Also, Lin-Manuel Miranda does all of the music for this film. And let's get my thoughts on Mufasa, The Lion King. And overall, this movie is a giant mixed bag. There actually are some elements of greatness in this movie, but there's also some really not great moments, obviously, in this film as well. Now, overall, though, it is a better movie to me than the 2019 version of Lion King. I would always rather watch this movie if I go to rewatch it than over the readaptation of Lion King back in 2019. Because again, in general, if I'm ever going back to watch The Lion King, I'm watching the 90s original. So that's a plus. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than the 2019 version. And what helped that is actually a really compelling origin story for Mufasa, who is voiced by Aaron Pierre, who does a really good job in this film. And it's obviously a tough job because he's taking over for James Earl Jones, who sadly passed away earlier this year. But you understand Mufasa's journey from the beginning of the movie to where we even see him in the original Lion King. And it all made sense. It was compelling. You understand his dynamic with his brother, but I really enjoyed his dynamic with Rafiki in this movie, who kind of got stripped away all of his comedic beats in the 2019 version of the film. But here they bring that back. And Ladiga gives a really good performance as young Rafiki, and his relationship with Mufasa, for me, was actually the most moving aspect of the entire film. Their similarities, their differences, and what brought them together, I actually really enjoyed in this film. And overall, I was enjoying myself because the main story, which is Mufasa's, was the best part of the movie and was actually pretty great at times. The filmmaking and the effects are just continually jaw-dropping, just like the 2019 film. It is amazing how they can animate all these places, animals, and it feels real. I know they're talking, but these animals look right from, where you would see in real life, the leaves, the grass, the trees. It is jaw-dropping to look at the filmmaking and the special effects that is on display um, in this film. Um, I'll say this: I'm very mixed as well on Lin-Manuel Miranda's music. There isn't the one song that I would say I like by far and away was the villain song of the White Lion character Kyros, who's voiced by Mads Mikkelsen. I actually really like that song. But other than that song, the movie kind of goes in and out, and sometimes the songs kind of feel jammed into the movie because it's a Lion King film. And for someone who's a big Lin-Manuel Miranda fan, I was kind of disappointed with the overall music of the movie, but there are definitely some big problems with the movie. And the biggest one is there are so many different things going on jammed into a 2-hour film because obviously the movie is Mufasa. We're learning about the story of Mufasa, but we're also cutting back and forth between the past, which is obviously the main story of the film, but also we keep going back and forth between Mufasa and the present day time, which is Simba. Sorry, not Simba. Well, Simba's in the movie for a little bit, who's played by Donald Glover. But Simba and Nala's daughter, who obviously Nala's played by Beyonce. And you have Blue Ivy in the movie as Kiara. But we're about to back between Mufasa and Kiara and the main storyline. It feels like just to get Timon and Pumbaa some jokes so they can market the movie. I feel like if we would have cut that completely out of the movie and we could have just focused on Mufasa for the entire runtime, this movie could have felt a lot less rushed. But because we have to keep cutting back and forth between the present time for 5 to 10 minutes and then back to the actual time, then back to the present time, I just feel like the movie loses a lot of its energy because when we go back to the prequel, it's very rushed. And I think what helped with that is completely cutting out the present day stuff with Kiara and Rafiki and Timon and Pumbaa. I think if we cut that out of the movie, we could have even saved time in the runtime, but even got more time to spend with Mufasa and Taka and things like that. From an actual story level, though, I am just not a big fan with what they did with Scar, who is obviously Taka in this film. Kevin Harrison Jr. does a very good job. But I was kind of thinking to myself, actually, like halfway through the movie, I was like, how are they supposed to get Taka to become Scar, that we all know is one of the most iconic, not just Disney villains, but movie villains of all time? And the turn from Taka to Scar does not work for me in this movie whatsoever. It's a minor problem, in my opinion, that he would have with Mufasa, but it turns him into Scar and it just didn't make a lot of sense. And that whole arc I was actually the most excited for. And it's obviously promoted as not just a Mufasa origin story, but a Scar origin story. And that is where I think the mixed bag nature is going to come in with this film, which is that Mufasa's actual origin story is very strong, while it's the complete polar opposite for Scar, who feels like he's in the movie, and then when he has to make this huge change, it just feels forced and rushed. And it's easily the most rushed aspect of the entire film. I think if we sat in it a little bit more and really felt the turn from Scar and how much that hurt Mufasa, but we don't feel that in the movie whatsoever. And if we did, it would have taken this to a whole nother level and made it actually a pretty great movie. But because we rushed through that so much, it's the most rushed storyline in the movie, while it's probably one of the more important storylines that left the movie me wanting more. So the filmmaking is on display in a very strong way. I actually really enjoyed Mufasa's actual origin story, and the songs were good enough in this movie. I do think jumping back and forth between so many different things, the movie felt really rushed, and Scar's turn just did not work for me. So overall, I'm going to give Mufasa, The Lion King, a 2.5 out of 5, a 52%. What are your thoughts on Mufasa, The Lion King? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.